Russ Martin Show.
Oh, yeah.
Call Russ, who is impervious to all that surrounds him. Now at 214-787-1053.
Let's get up right in the morning. The traffic's light.
You're out of your mind.
Why?
You've seen the mothers in their SUVs and their screaming kids and their cell phones. They'll flatten you. Everybody that ever bought a motorcycle thought the same thing you thought. I'll just get up and I'll do it in the morning.
No. Lee Harris, even after his last accident, isn't he riding back and forth now?
Yeah, riding back and forth again.
I'm not talking about to use it for daily transportation. Just get up on a Sunday morning, stay in the area, side streets.
You're being ridiculous.
Why?
It's not safe.
If it's not safe, they'd stop selling them.
Everybody we know that's had one has gotten hurt.
It's because they rode it all the time.
Okay. Get one. Go ahead. Then I'm going to skydive.
I'm sorry, what?
I'm going to skydive. I saw a story about some chicks that skydived for breast cancer over the weekend. Got me thinking about that again. Just once. I'd love to do it just one time.
Go ahead.
Okay. Didn't think about it. Anyway.
It's a crapshoot.
Well, so is riding your fat boy around.
Mm-mm.
It's kind of. All it takes is one idiot.
Mine makes more sense than yours.
Well, not really.
Yeah, it does. What is it you want to do?
Jump out of an airplane.
All right.
With a parachute.
Okay, fine.
Strapped to a guy who does it every day and lived for years.
And we've had this conversation before. What if you picked the one day that something bad happened to him? What if he found out he had cancer and that was his time? He decides, I'm going now.
I'm taking this guy with me.
Right.
This random stranger. He wouldn't kill me. And take somebody with him.
If you're on the way out, what do you care?
Anyway. Well, what if somebody's coming at you and they decide they're going out today and they're going to head on this little motorcycle?
Well, that could happen with anything.
Yeah, it could. So when did the motorcycle come back into the picture? What are you, restless? Not enough toys?
Maybe.
Come to church with me.
Why?
Because you're restless because you... Never mind.
Do they have Harleys?
Actually, some people drive Harleys to church, yes.
Okay. So why do you want me to come to church?
I don't know. It's just, why are you restless? What is inside you that is not fulfilled?
I don't know.
Okay.
I can't see something and think, you know what, I miss riding the Harley.
I never rode one, so I don't know. Maybe it's just, I rode a motorcycle when I was in college. They are fun.
Okay.
This day and age, I know too many people with busted up legs and ankles. That's all. From them. Everybody thought the same thing. I'll just ride them around in the morning and nobody else.
No, that's not what everybody thinks. Everybody thinks I'm going to take it and this is going to be a mode of transportation. It's not what I'm talking about.
What do they cost nowadays?
I don't know. Last time I checked, Fat Boy, the last time I knew was about $18,000. I'm sure it's more than that now. Yeah. Do you know, Chloe?
Forgot what it was.
Because when we were giving them away at the Eagle. Isn't that all we gave away, Fat Boys?
About $18,000. We gave away a soft tail, but mainly it was Fat Boys because that's what the PD at the time, Dwayne actually.
Yeah,
that's what he
drove.
He actually ended up buying one of them because the listener didn't want it.
Hmm.
What's the difference in a Fat Boy and a soft tail?
It's just the design.
Okay.
Soft tail is more. I think it's more It's been around longer. I think it's more of a heritage type thing, actually.
Right. That's what my dad rode when I was a kid. He rode. They look just like the police motorcycles.
Okay.
The Harley 1200.
Used to be 1200s.
Yeah.
Highway Patrol would ride them.
Right.
Okay. We'll get it.
Why don't you get one? We live in the same part of town. We get up on Sunday mornings and enjoy ourselves.
I just bought a house. I can't really afford it. I guess I could finance it.
You just got a nice little ratings bonus.
Yes. Okay.
Get you a Harley.
Let's look at them. I'll look into it.
When's the last time you rode?
Oh, it's been years. I would have to take a course.
I want you to ride in front of me so I can actually see it.
Always in front of you.
Yeah.
So when I fall, you can miss me.
No, so I can see whatever's going to happen because it's going to be good, whatever it is, and I don't want to miss it behind me.
Well, then why do you want me to ride it? So I'll hurt myself. I hurt myself on a beach. Do I really need to be on a motorcycle?
I understand. Oh, that can't be right. Hi, Elizabeth.
Hi.
Yes, ma'am.
We just bought a Fat Boy a couple months ago. It was about $28,000.
Was it straight off the showroom, or was there a bunch of aftermarket stuff on it?
Well, It was off the showroom, but there was a bunch of aftermarket stuff on it. It was like a 15th anniversary edition. It comes with all the good chrome stuff.
Okay.
It's pretty.
What was a normal one just sitting on the lot?
You know, they did start about $18,000.
Okay. All right.
But you don't really get anything cool for that, so. But it's fun.
All right. Thank you.
Fun.
Line 1. All right. We'll do this and we'll do news. Hi, Bill.
Hey, how you doing?
Good.
Hey, real quick, I just was listening to that. I don't know if that was Jim Wright or not, but I was just going to add, I'm an aerospace and aviation consultant, and just give you 3 points on what the issues are, at least the way we see that. One is, one of the comments he said is why they don't want to use DFW, that is Southwest. It's one, is congested, and two, it's expensive. The landing fees and maintenance and the like are more expensive there.
Okay.
And all other markets, for example, like,
Well, plus Southwest has already set up their headquarters at Love Field. Why move just because somebody wants them to?
Well, I mean, all of the economic reasons of keeping DFW as the major airport, all apply. But Southwest strategy nationwide has been the lower cost, lower congested airports. I mean, they're doing the same thing in Seattle by trying to move to Boeing Field. They do the same thing in LA and Long Beach, although LAX is a big problem. Ontario, right. Chicago, they use Midway. They use, instead of Boston, they use Providence, and up in Manchester in New Hampshire, they use MacArthur on Long Island. So that's their strategy, is never to go into the big congested, expensive airports. That's one. Two, the part about the big airplanes was just preposterous. They fly from San Antonio and Austin directly to L.A. now and all points east. So the 737 can handle...
Well, that's what I didn't get.
It just didn't make any sense.
Do you need a bigger plane? Obviously, you don't need a bigger plane to hold more fuel.
Well, that's A, they don't need a bigger plane, and B, it's no secret, and people that follow the industry, Southwest strategy from day one has been same equipment, same pilot, so you have lower training, lower maintenance costs because everybody's trained on the same aircraft. You're able to turn the aircraft faster. So that part's not applicable. And then I forget the other part about congestion. There was a third piece.
About the flight paths crossing?
Yeah, I mean, that's just preposterous, right? They already fly from L.A. to San Antonio. In fact, my mother-in-law just yesterday flew from San Antonio nonstop to L.A. So that's not it's not a reason there. I think the issue really is simply that they wanted to protect their investment. The only other place this has ever played out, they didn't mention it, was in Denver. When they opened Denver International, they closed Stapleton. It was the same day. They last flight at midnight ended at Stapleton, and Denver International opened the next day. And Southwest, lo and behold, doesn't fly there, right? They don't even fly to the state.
But they closed Stapleton. I mean, closed it.
They completely closed it because they didn't want to. They wanted to protect that investment. If you've ever been to Denver, you'll see it's just it's this massive, overly built, airport. But
and I can see that when they put up DFW.
Right.
But I think we have enough population now to support a small little airport north of Dallas.
That's the issue right there. So you definitely have the infrastructure to support it. It works in all the other major markets where it plays out. Chicago's a fine example of that.
All right, well let's go back this way because I'm sick of the geography lesson.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
What is it? One valid reason that you've heard so far of why the ride needs to stay in place?
There is no valid reason, right?
All right, good enough. Thank you. I just don't understand how things stay where they are if there's nothing really valid.
I don't either, other than that it's a law. It's the law of the land, as Jim Wright said. And it's don't.
I got to do it once.
Don't, please. Please, for me.
I'll turn the mics off.
Stop that. Don't.
Here, one more. Shut up! All right.
Don't. Russell, please.
All right, you ready for this?
I am so ready.
Hold on. Yes, Mark?
Yeah, what a soft tail motorcycle is just a framework. It just has a rear suspension because it's a softer ride.
Are those run more or less than Fat Boys?
A Fat Boy is actually a soft tail because it has a rear suspension on it. Now,
all right, thanks.
Okay, so it's got a little softer suspension in the rear.
I guess, I don't know. Okay. I just like the look of the Fat Boy. And I'm not big on adding a bunch of other chrome stuff to it.
But people overdo it sometimes. Saddlebags, chrome, everything.
Mm-hmm.
Let me do news. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Brought to us by...
We are?
No. Have respect.
All right, then. Go ahead.
Thank you. A little sounder thing.
Oh, okay. But one more before we actually do news.
No.
do that. 504 at KLLI, Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas. J.D. Ryan's here with news.
Russ. Brought to us by VertBiz Internet, the official web host of the Russ Martin Show, VertBiz.com, and by Sports City Cafe. Rob will be there on Sunday from 2 to 4. That's in Town Crossing Boulevard at Mesquite. He'll have live 5 tickets to give away.
Is that this weekend? No, obviously not.
No.
Rob's got an appearance this weekend. So when is it? The live 5?
It's August 12th.
Next Friday.
Next Friday.
Okay.
Right after that.
All right.
Monday, August 1st, 2005, Richard Roper from Ebert & Roper is 45 today. Joe Elliott, Def Leppard, is 46. Dom DeLuise, 72. And Ziggy, the cartoonist, Tom Wilson, is 74 today. Crude futures briefly jumped to a new high above $62 a barrel today after the death of a king, Saudi Arabian's king, Fawd, I suppose. Thought though the nation's oil policy is not expected to change now that the power has formally shifted to his brother, the de facto leader during the past decade. So prices went up for a little bit. Mm-hmm. What's the matter? Please don't make me wonder the whole newscast when it's coming. Don't. It's very distracting, and I have a hard time reading as it is. Good news. Mm-hmm. The annual tax-free weekend for parents to get a tax break on the back-to-school items is just days away. It's coming up this weekend. It starts on Friday, runs through Sunday. Items like clothes, shoes, anything under $100 are included in the tax-free guidelines. Layaway plans also...
Can you imagine what that IKEA place is going to be like this weekend? Not bad enough. It's open enough this Wednesday. Then you tack on the no-tax weekend?
No tax weekend. Many stores can offer additional discounts this weekend. It's the 7th year going on. There's all kinds of different stuff. Hats, gloves, baby clothes, jackets, pajamas, just almost everything. Even rental, even personal flotation devices.
For back to school?
There's a whole list of it.
Not back to... Well, but that's basically what it's there for, isn't it?
Yeah.
Back to school? Mm-hmm. Well, what are the flotation devices for?
I have no clue. If football stuff, pads, leather goods, laundering services, shoes, obviously, boots, swimsuits, sweaters, shirts, pretty much everything. Mm-hmm. All tax-free. Well, we all remember this, and it'll be tomorrow. It happened 20 years ago tomorrow. What happened August the 2nd, 1985? Do you remember? Just after 6 p.m.?
Yes.
Delta Flight 191 had fallen or was actually pushed from the sky nearly 20 years later.
Let me ask you this, because I thought about this today. Obviously, wind shear isn't something new.
No.
It's not something that we just discovered
20 years ago.
Mm-mm. They've flown through wind shear. Mm-hmm. Didn't necessarily have the equipment to detect it.
Correct.
All right?
Mm-hmm.
But you knew it was possible in a thunderstorm.
Correct.
All right. Why did that pilot decide to go ahead and come through knowing that there were thunderstorms out at DFW?
Pilot error, pure and simple. He even mentioned the fact he knew he was in the thunderstorm. There's audio of him going, yeah, we're out here in the rain. Sure feels good. Delta 191, we're on a 12-mile final, whatever, out here in the rain.
You can fly in the rain. That's not any big deal.
He knew he was in a thunderstorm. They had radar. He knew he was flying into a thunderstorm. They didn't know two problems. They didn't know the severity of the storm as it was developing. You know how fast storms develop.
Right.
Okay. Hot, 6 o'clock, middle of the afternoon. So the storm's developing fast, moving into their flight path. Secondly, the co-pilot was flying. He got behind the airplane. He let the plane because you hear the captain going, push the throttles up, push them up.
What does behind the plane mean?
The plane he wasn't reacting fast enough. Had they just floored the throttles, right, the moment there was a problem, there's a chance they could have flown through that.
He was slow to react.
Very slow to react. And the captain has already noticed there's a problem because he's going, push them up, push the throttles up, push them way up. So he's having to tell the co-pilot 3 different times.
Why didn't he do it?
Well, at some point he did probably take over, but there's a... What is it? He wants
it to learn?
Decorum. He's flying. So you make a mistake. But that was unfortunately a fatal one. But they almost. I don't care what protocol is.
I realize. If something's going on and he's not reacting fast enough, you slap his hand and you start pushing the levers.
Even the captain didn't realize it was as bad as it was until it was too late. The airplane was fatal. In fact, they use that approach now to train pilots on wind shear, and some of them still don't make it through, even knowing what they're facing.
Yeah. Who was the anchor that brought up the fact that maybe it was a good idea they hit the water tower?
Who was that? Brad Wright.
What was it he said?
Possibly helped out with some of the flames. They hit the water tower. That'd be a good thing they hit the water tower. That probably helped break up the airplane there, Brad. Well, they've been talking for 6 hours. He just ran out of things to say.
Obviously not.
Yes. God.
What a stroke of luck. You're on fire and you hit a water tower.
I'm sure that's what he was thinking. They weren't on fire until they hit it.
But I guess if you got to pick one thing.
Yeah. Yeah. That's hard to believe that's been 20 years. Do you remember where you were that day? I remember exactly where I was. It's hard to believe 27 people walked out of the airplane alive.
Was that like a Friday?
Friday afternoon, right at 6.
85, where was I? I was on the air.
Were you?
Yeah.
Over at the Eagle?
No, I didn't go to the Eagle till 87.
Okay.
So it was over at KLLI. But then I think they just started doing, the news department came in and they covered it from there on out.
I remember I was working at the Eagle. And
well, at the time, the Eagle Studios looked out towards DFW, but you couldn't really see that land.
Yeah, you could see the smoke and such.
Okay.
Like the fire the other day in Fort Worth, you could see the smoke. You could see the smoke, and it was drifting toward the studio. Joe Folger was on the air. He even made the comment, it smells funny over here. Yeah, Joel, it's called burning people and fuel. Anyway, but yeah, they covered it. I was coming out of town. He's small from an appearance over for the Eagle, but that's hard to believe. That's been 20 years. All right. Yesterday, the U.S. Department of Justice released its first ever report on prison rape. Their biggest conclusion: well, prison rape kind of goes unreported, so it's pretty useless. Their report is. The report finds, however, last year...
Well, how'd they get stats if it goes unreported? Because I know that we never told anybody.
Well, some people obviously do report. Some people are bolder than you were, and some 8,210 people actually did report it in rape and abuse in U.S. prisons and jails. 42% of claim of sexual violence by a staff member. 37% are non-consensual inmate sexual contact. 20% say the inmate-to-inmate rape claims were eventually substantiated. Also, we should be proud, the highest number of rape allegations come from the state of Texas.
I don't think I was ever locked up in Texas.
Never Texas.
Mm-hmm.
How many different states have you been locked up in?
6 or 7.
Were you raped in all of them?
Like 3 of them. South Carolina was a bad one.
Is that where they raped you? The Chinese raped you there?
No. That was C Block where the Chinese raped me and left the socks sticking out of my ass. South Carolina, they actually raped me and then made me,
what did they make you do there?
Made me eat a bag of flour and oil and then wait for me to make pasta.
No, that didn't happen. That didn't happen. You had a tortured past. Florida, Missouri, Ohio, and Oklahoma now have all passed laws requiring some high-risk sex offenders to wear socks. No, to wear GPS trackers at all times for life. Similar bills are coming up in other states.
If they're worried about them, why turn them loose?
Well, that's exactly right. Well, if you're,
isn't that one of the reasons that you turn somebody loose? Is they're no longer a threat to society?
Yeah.
Well, if they got to wear a GPS tracking device, they're still a threat.
Why even have them out? Including North Dakota and Alabama, both of which are very close to passing these laws. Sex offenders who qualify for the GPS tracking are forced to wear the electronic waterproof anklets bracelets at all times. The bans instantly trigger law enforcement anytime the sex offender approaches an off-limit area like a school. But like you said, why are they out at all? Why are they, if other than the fact that, we can't warehouse them anymore? Or the law has said, they can only get this many days for this many years for the crime? Police can also pinpoint the sex offender's location at any moment. Of course, the sex offender's traveling direction, speed, and all that such. A computer. President Bush just had his annual physical. You'd be glad to know. According to some reports, he's the most fit president in modern history. At 59 years of age, he is in the 99th percentile of his health for his group. He has not taken a single sick day in the last year. He works out 6 days a week, including biking, treadmill, the elliptical trainer, and stretching and free weights. Last year, he weighed in at 199. This year, he's 191. His body fat is dropped from 18% to 15.79%.
Congratulations.
What are you laughing at?
Well,
You've got something going on.
I got nothing.
Don't drop it on me.
I'm not doing anything.
I know what you're doing. I know what you're thinking. I know what's coming. Quit it.
You don't know what I'm thinking.
I see it in your eyes.
You get it? I make pasta.
I get it. I get it. A survey finds that women are now firmly in control of everything when it comes to going out to dinner, except for paying for it. More than 70% of women say that when they go out to dinner with their husband or boyfriend, they pick the restaurant. The same number percentage, 70%, say they pick the wine. And the same number also tell the guy what he's going to eat. But when it comes time for the check, only 5% pick up the actual check.
I never had that happen before.
I never have either.
Where the chick tells me what I'm going to eat?
No. I mean, I'll ask a chick normally where she wants to eat.
Sometimes.
More often than not, I'll go where Joy wants to go. Because I don't really care.
She ever offer to pay?
Oh, yeah, occasionally. She almost always says, do you need some money when the check comes? Which is a nice way to offer without really offering.
She actually, does she do...
She has picked up the check.
Does she do the Gavin offer, or does she really offer?
It's kind of...
Because Gavin, he don't carry a wallet.
No, she has a wallet. I just know she didn't have as much money, so I don't, ask her to do it. But she has actually just picked up the check before. Okay. Not often, but she has.
You guys straight on everything?
Everything's fine.
Had a nice weekend?
Nice, quiet weekend.
Okay.
Nice, quiet weekend. Everything's
back to status quo?
Everything's back to status quo.
Is she staying at the house this week?
No. She goes back home. And I'm going to Tampa this weekend without her.
Why?
Just because I'm going to be with my boys.
Oh. What are you going to Tampa for?
Toby Keith concert. Saturday.
That's right.
Yeah. Can we give the record a couple of spins this week?
Why? Is that how we're paying for... Who's paying for the airfare? Is Toby Keith's label paying for this?
I don't know.
Why? Yeah. I think most of the times when you get airfare, you know who paid for it.
It just came in the mail. No, I'm paying for it. I'm paying for it.
What are they paying for?
They're not, as far as I know, paying for anything. They have hotel rooms there.
Okay.
So they give me a hotel room.
Free one.
Yeah.
Why?
What? Because they had them. They get them for the crew and the staff.
How do you still manage to milk Plugola, payola, years later? You're not even the music director anymore.
Exactly. There's nothing I can do for them. There's nothing. I can't do anything for them. They just want me to come out to the show. Me and my kids.
All right.
Be fun.
How come you're not taking Joy?
Just for the boys. Just the guys. Trip. And she wants to spend the weekend with her son. Here.
Oh. Okay.
Here, speaking of the music industry, or something the music industry probably doesn't want you to know about music pirates, they legally purchase more music online than anybody else. That's right. Fans who illegally download music on the internet also...
They got more money to spend.
Also, well, yeah, because they're downloading it.
Yeah, they're saving all the other money on this, like saying bank robbers take that money and spend more money on textile products.
They steal more. They spend more than 4 times... more on legal downloads than the rest of us. But you're right, they're stealing to begin with. That's how they get their cash.
Yeah.
PETA wants to deprive the world of chimpanzee entertainment now.
Why?
They say that chimps who are used for our amusement in movies and TVs are actually being exploited. You know that little smile that chimps give? That little when they're in movies?
I don't think I recognize that.
Oh, yeah.
Do it again.
Like this. You've seen the chimp smile.
Yeah, what does that mean?
It just it means they're very upset. Sometimes we think they're grinning and happy.
Yeah.
They're not. They're very upset. That's what they say. They're fearful, or it's a reaction to fear. Peter would like you to boycott movies and TV.
What about Lancelot Ling?
Yes, especially that one.
Was he mad?
Yes, very upset.
Secret chat.
Boycott. Any TV shows that feature real chimps, Peter would like you no longer to go look at. Baltimore Orioles first baseman Rafael Palmeiro testified before Congress on March 17th that he'd never used steroids, suspended by Commissioner Bud Selig. The Bud guy.
Right.
Today.
Right again. Of all the times that you hear newscast, you never heard this guy's name come up?
Yeah, but I didn't listen because I don't really give a rat's ass.
Try it again.
Bud.
Okay. Bud what?
Wiser. For violating baseball's joint drug prevention and treatment program. Palmeiro, whose 567 career home runs and 3,018 hits make him a leading candidate for the Hall of Fame 5 years after he retires, filed a grievance when he learned of the suspension. But according to a statement from the Players Union, the Major League Baseball arbitration panel said, sorry. The result reached by the panel is based on the uncontested positive test results and our determination that the evidence in this record is not sufficient for the player to meet his burden of establishment of proof. So in other words, they're saying, sorry, you're out. And it never comes out and says what he tested for. He comes back and says, I've never done steroids. I haven't been careful enough, but I've never really done steroids. But they never come out and say what it was that he tested for.
Well, what does that mean? I've never been careful enough. Can you accidentally ingest steroids?
Well, the other thing is this. We don't know exactly what it is that he tested positive for.
Right.
Let me put it this way. I sincerely doubt he tested positive for anabolic steroids. The thing is, though, when the steroid policy came out, it has 3 pages full of different banned substances. Like the stuff that Mark McGuire was on back in '98, the androstenedione stuff.
Okay.
That was an over-the-counter supplement. And I think now that's one of those supplements that is on the banned list. There's so many different things out there.
So you're telling me you could get stuff like a GNC or whatever that would make it look like you tested positive for steroids?
From everything that I've heard, as far as when players like this test positive for something,
right?
That's what they're saying. They're saying, and not just in baseball and other sports, saying I tested positive for this, that, and the other because but it was something I got, at the grocery store or at GNC or like you said. And that's a part of the program, like JD mentioned, that I absolutely can't stand is this confidentiality part of it where no one tells you what it is that he tested positive for.
Well, but they tell him, don't they?
Oh, yeah, he'll know. Well, but even in part
really, in the overall scheme, that's all that matters is he knows what he got tested positive for.
In the overall scheme, actually, I disagree with that because the overall scheme is what is good for the game. Well, it'd be good for the game to find out what exactly he tested positive for. Because if it's something that I can go down to the health food store and pick up, to me, that's not quite as severe as if he's, sticking a needle
anabolic.
It's not like he's sticking a needle in his butt every week or something.
What do I care what he's doing anyway?
Well, you really don't. But
well, you don't because you're not a sports fan. But as far as, the greater good of the game, sports fans would like to know what it is these guys test positive for. Now, granted, obviously he's still in the wrong because it was on that banned list. However, some of the things that are on that list really are stupid.
Well, why don't they get the Players League or whoever to go, hey, you know what? This is in a supplement. This is an energy bar. And get this off the list.
Did they say this test was conclusive? Or they're still looking at it? I just think it's weird that this is in, there's no appeal. He's automatically suspended. You got what's-his-name that smacked around 2 reporters. He got to appeal that while he sat around and still played.
Yeah. Right, and part of the reason for that is since there was such an outcry back in March when they had, the hearings with baseball, when they had the congressional hearings as far as steroids in sports.
And he testified in front of Congress that he'd never done roids.
Exactly.
All right.
And in his statement now, he's saying, I've never intentionally done anything. Obviously, this is a lesson to myself, other players, and to kids in sports. You have to be more careful about what it is you put into your body.
I don't understand how, because what he's alluding to is maybe somehow accidentally I got some steroids.
Or I got, something that was banned.
Right. Well, if I'm making a few $1 million a year and I'm conscious of my diet, I don't think I'd accidentally take in anything.
Therein lies the catch-22. In my mind, that's part of why I want to know what it was. Because it's very easy for him to say, well, I had no idea what I was taking.
Still, that doesn't transfer down to me. I don't care. As long as he knows what he got popped for, that way if it was some supplement that may show up falsely that he's on roids, he comes back and goes, hey, look, I got this stuff in the GNC. This is what I'm taking. Run your test on this and see if it'll give you a false negative.
Positive.
Yeah, false positive on steroid use.
Right. And with him saying, well, I never intentionally did this, well, because of that the confidentiality agreement, when it comes out, well, no one can really go back at him and say, okay, you see, it was actual steroids. You're just blowing smoke up everyone, releasing that statement. So he can say that knowing you or I aren't going to know what it is he took.
Unless he comes out and tells us. Will this ever keep him out of the Hall of Fame?
They actually asked this past weekend. They had induction ceremonies for the Hall of Fame. Wade Boggs, Ryan Sandberg, two of the best infielders ever play the game. They were asked that question, and they both said, without a doubt, he should and will be inducted into the Hall of Fame.
I just think it's weird that they immediately popped him on this. No appeal.
No appeal.
Nothing to go back to C-League and say, okay, here's what happened, here's what I was on. But then you got Kenny Rogers, who goes around. We watched him slap these people around. We watched it. He still got to play while the appeal was in progress.
Right, and there's nothing confidential about what he did.
No.
And that's what I was saying is because...
Well, that was by his own choice.
Exactly. And because of that outcry from the government to get something done, they felt the need to come up with something extremely severe, and they felt like they did, and they had to do it in a very, quick fashion. Otherwise, the government was going to step in and say, well, if you're not going to do it, we'll do it for you. Which, of course, sends a horrible message from our government saying, we want to be stricter whether or not one guy hits 50 home runs versus 40, but we're okay if, a pitcher...
Why the hell would the government step into private sports? If steroids aren't illegal, and there are a lot of them that aren't, right?
Yes, there are a lot that are not. Obviously, some there's a gray area because most you can get it with a prescription.
Okay. So why is the government messing with this?
Because of their constituents, and they're worried about, like everything else in this country, what we're worried about most is the kids. They're worried about the handful of children that have, had problems with steroids, including the case here locally years back, the kid from Plano, and then obviously the new one in Colleyville. They're worried that it's such an epidemic, no one knows about it as much yet, but they want to make sure that they nip it in the butt early. It revolves around the kids. They want to protect children at all costs.
Why don't they work on education programs for the parents?
Good Lord, that makes so much sense.
Yeah.
But making sense doesn't seem to do that well in Washington.
Now, I mean, you could go to a certain point. You could say athletes aren't supposed to be role models, and they're not.
They're not.
But kids are still going to do it. Because in the past, really, it was okay. Because you didn't really have athletes doing weird crap.
Right. And if that's what you want to become in your life, you want to become that, that's who you're going to look up to.
So I see the logic behind that, but I also think there needs to be a balance. You go back and you have educational programs for the parents and say, look, if your kid gets 4 or 5 times bigger in the course of about a week and a half, he's probably shooting something into his arm.
Why don't you go look in his drawers?
Yeah.
See what's in there.
And then, of course, and not even just that, what about the stuff outside of the uniform? You hear about guys all the time that are slapping around their wives, girlfriends, whatever.
Things happen.
No.
Sometimes things happen. You ass. Would you like to break? Yes, please. All right, we'll be back.
We'll be back to the Russ Martin Show.
I want to talk about me, want to talk about I, want to talk about number one on my, me, my, what I think, what I like, what I know, what I want, what I see. I like talking about you usually, but occasionally I want to talk about me. I want to talk about me. I want to talk about me.
DFW's Afternoon Mainstay. The Russ Martin. Now, back to the Russ Martin Show. To all that surrounds him. Now at
214-7-405-3. Did you finish?
Got about halfway through. We can start again.
All right. Hold on. Hi, Jeffrey.
Oh, hey, Russ. How's it going?
Good.
I was just, I heard you say a few times that Rafi's suspension wasn't challenged, and I was looking on ESPN.com and listening on TV, and they said that his suspension was challenged by the Players Association, and there was a secret arbitration, and they just didn't overturn it.
All right, so his suspension starts now, today.
Yeah, it starts today. I mean, baseball hasn't said when the positive test really occurred, But I mean, it's a little different from Kenny Rogers, because with steroids, everybody knew from the beginning it's going to be a 10-day, then a 20. Baseball didn't really have a standing policy for throwing down cameramen.
That's a valid point. You don't really think that you're going to have to throw that into place.
Exactly. It's not going to be, it's like, well, with the Rangers throwing chairs into crowds and throwing down cameramen, you can't have a set policy for each and every rule, each and every freak accident like that.
I still don't understand the angle of I don't know how I got it, or if I may have accidentally got steroids.
Yes.
Oh, I mean, I wish they would really release and say exactly what it was, because I mean, it's a little different if it's going to be something that he's been kind of sticking in his ass, or if it's something that came from an energy bar. I mean, because with the way that they have it right now, you can say forever, I didn't know, maybe it was just a supplement that I took, it was something minor like that.
Well, that's what I'm asking is there are so many different supplements out that one of them may have something in it that is some form of steroid that's going to test positive on a test, or show positive on a test.
It also you have to look at the supplement and look at exactly what it's going to do. If it's something that it's going to give him a minor boost, then I think you also have to look at that, because if it's going to be something that's going to give him a major boost, you also have to consider that when looking at the Hall of Fame, when looking at his 3,000 hits, his 500 home runs.
Right, and how do you decide what effect this had on his playing potential? And should that keep him out of the Hall of Fame?
Depends on what it was, again.
Well, I mean, that's going to be a tough one, because they didn't address that as much. I mean, people knew that people were going to test positive of steroids. You assume that it's going to be at least a couple high-profile players, because steroids does do positive things to you, and they specifically didn't address the Hall of Fame. You have, I mean, with the Pete Rose, you have gambling.
I just don't know why any of them would do this at all, knowing they're going to be tested.
Well, maybe it's random testing, right? Or is each player required to take a test X amount of times a year?
It is random testing.
Okay. Then that's what you go back to. It's like, so is it some people that drink and drive? You know, what are my chances of getting stopped on the way home? I think the odds are with me. I'm going to give it a shot.
I guess.
And I mean, look at the consequences for that.
That's true. Very serious.
On the other hand, though, given someone's career, like a Rafael Palmeiro, you risk tarnishing your image for the next how many years. You risk maybe not getting into the Hall of Fame, all those things. The other thing is,
you have to give any of the cash back?
As far as?
That you earned as a baseball player.
No, that's not part of it.
Who gives it?
Well, hopefully at that point.
Unless you're asking me for the cash back, I don't really care.
Well, image is a huge thing in baseball. Pride, image,
However,
legacy.
Some people think or feel most players that make it to that level don't just care about the money. They do want to win. They want to win championships. The reason why they want to do that is because, sure, they'll have nice money, nice cars, and hot wives, and God knows how many mistresses across the country. But one thing that will last forever is that legacy.
No, I understand. Success, I'm sure it's addictive. And you get this high off of achieving one level, and you want to go to the next one. Well, I'm making all this money. I want to do something else. I want to be in the Hall of Fame. I want to screw women outside of my race.
Well, you look at a guy like Kenny Rogers. You know he doesn't need any more cash. He's mad because of his contract negotiations are not going well. He could walk away now and not have to work at the bus station.
And I don't get if a lot of the reason for the roid push thing is we're worried about the kids. It seems like parents at a certain point is the more somebody makes, the less of a role model they should really be, because when you get to that level of having that much cash come in, you go nutty. I don't care who you are or how normal you were when you started. You start doing weird crap.
Yeah. But that's hard to explain to a kid. Hey, don't be this because he's got a fancy house and all these women and all these cars. You don't want that. Well, yeah, Mom, I kind of do, and I kind of want to do what he did to get there.
I think that makes perfect sense.
Which one?
The one that you just said, as far as the more money that someone makes and the more your kid says, I want to be like that person, the more you should tell them, okay, it's nice to have dreams, but let's not forget a nice little slice of reality as well. Sure, you can go and play in the majors, but look at how many people actually do that versus how many kids across the country or around the world do it. The odds are not in your favor.
But that's really what Russ was saying. Russ was saying the really high up, the really top guys are wacky. They're nutty. Don't aim to be those people.
Right.
Don't be there, you know.
Is that what you just said?
It is basically, but it's like it's one thing to have the dream to say to become a professional athlete. Most guys that played sports through high school or even maybe a little bit in college,
right,
they would have killed just to play for a few years, say in the minor leagues.
I understand.
So I mean, it's just varying degrees.
It's for me, it's hard to understand if I were a parent how I'd let my kid idolize somebody, knowing that this person at this point in life, they got no touch with reality. They had not a clue.
No.
And I'm sure, you know, you have the delusions of grandeur. You get to a certain point, there's nothing I can do that's going to be wrong.
Absolutely. Next thing you know, they're opening the bar stools and billiards for you after they're closed.
Why do you say that? What's the reason for bringing that up?
Stop it. Stop that.
I'll tell you.
Russell, stop it. Touch of reality.
There it is.
I was kidding when I told Rob, I went, call him up, tell him Oprah's out here, open the door.
Did they open up the door? When they found out it was Russ Martin, did they open up the door?
I saw Rob talking to the guy at the back of the building, and I went, Rob, leave them alone. Let's get out of here.
They opened up the door? Oprah? Did they? Did they open? Did you shop after hours?
The difference, but I'll tell you the difference between this and Oprah.
Yeah.
I got it.
Yeah. Got in. Okay.
That started out as a joke. I wanted to go buy. I wanted some bar stools for the kitchen.
I know. I was just playing with you. It just seemed like a funny point to go, people lose touch with reality.
It's not like I went and beat on the door or I was serious. I told Rob, get us in there. Get me in there now. I didn't drive all the way out to Forney just so I could be locked out. Get me in that store. I can have bar stools.
I don't know. It's a funny story, though.
I need those now.
I have no place to sit.
Stop it.
Okay. Hello? Serve it up. Yeah.
Serve it up.
You want to pick up news?
Sure.
All right.
Like to?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll just start again.
Are you going to do it? Okay.
Let me know when you're ready.
All right.
Well, let me ask Rob something. Rob.
Yeah.
What happened with the classes at, was it Richland? North Lake.
He gets back tomorrow, so I got to wait till the dean comes back, and then they got to present to him whether or not they can add another class.
When do fall classes start? Isn't it sometime this month?
It may be the end of August.
Probably sometime this month.
I would think so.
Who did you talk to at the college?
I don't know. I got to look up her name.
Well, whoever you talked to, did they make it sound like it was feasible? If we got enough people that said they were going to sign up for this journalism course, they'd open up a class for us at night.
No, that's why I'm going to call the dean back.
She didn't make it sound like it was feasible?
She did, but that's why I have to call the dean back.
All right. I got it now.
It is feasible.
All right. So how many of you guys are going to go?
I'm in.
Dan?
I'm sorry, where are we going?
Where are we going? North Lake.
Oh, for the swimming for the terrified adult?
We're going to do that, too.
It's on Saturdays.
That's a Saturday class. I'm trying to get a Tuesday, Thursday class for journalism.
It would depend on which journalism, because...
Which is the one you need? Intro to Mass Communications?
No, I'm way past that.
All right. See, I already have that as well.
You just want to take it again for the heck of it?
Well, we don't have to take that. We can take something else. You don't want to go, say so.
No, I'd love to go. It's like I'm looking through, I think I'll end up going to Richland for most of my classes. But if you're going to do the Tuesday, Thursday thing at night, I wonder if I should be able to do both campuses. Wouldn't you think?
Yeah, let's see why not.
Okay. Then, yeah, I'm in. Obviously, as long as I get credit for it.
So, what is that? If all of us go, 5, 6 people, so then we need like another 9.
Oh, yeah.
That won't be hard.
You don't think?
No, I actually got a couple of emails the last time you talked about needing a certain amount of people. I had a couple of people email me asking when we were going to find out about it because they're in the same situation that I am as far as wanting to go back, what class and when.
I need to have them take my transcripts, look at them, and see with all the crap that I got, see if it'll squoosh down to some type of degree and what courses I need to take.
You know, just give you an idea which way you should go. What do you got left to do?
As far as an associate's?
Oh, yeah, I'm not going for a 4-year degree. I got no time for that.
Just checking.
I don't even know if if any of these classes have expired. After a certain point, I'm sure
hours expire.
If they say, well, you know what, it's 20 years ago since you took this intro to mass communications, we'd like for you to take that again.
Okay.
I could actually see that, but as far as, like a college algebra, I don't think that they would take that away. But like you said, intro to mass communications, I can see over the last 20 years some things have changed a bit. You're going to know just as well as anybody else about that.
Yeah. Hold on. Yes, Rob?
Her name is Catherine Stockmeyer.
And?
You want to know who I talked to?
I wanted to know her position. Like if she said, yeah, I think this is something we can do, and if she's high enough the food chain, then you go, okay, well, then there's some validity there.
All right, well, she's got to talk to the dean. She's just below the dean.
All right, and when does Wormer get back in?
Tomorrow.
All right, thank you. I want to go back to college.
I know. I don't think it's going to be the experience you're expecting.
You know what? I didn't have anything the first time. I didn't join a fraternity. I didn't live on campus.
No.
I didn't have the away from home experience because nobody would help me pay for it.
Well, you're not going to do that this time either. You're just going to go and sit in the class.
I know, but we can
what?
Create
We're gonna have
a fake environment around it. We have parties and we make our own fraternity.
Okay.
And then we have keggers. We already got the hookah.
You're going to smoke a hookah.
Yeah.
You're going to have kegger parties.
Yeah.
I don't drink, so that's very interesting.
Well, maybe if it would interest you, instead of kegger parties, we could have parties.
No. No. I don't need... No. No. I don't see the correlation.
Yeah. You can wear your Letterman jacket with a great big K on it.
I don't need that. I don't need that. I had that experience the first time. I don't need it this time. Well, we can have a little fraternity. Is your house the fraternity house?
I don't know. The frat house?
Uh-huh.
Would you want something smaller, kind of like a little S-hole?
Yeah, normally you do because you trash it and sleep over and camp out and spill beer and people throw up.
How about your house?
No. Ass.
Club?
That's why I ain't having a housewarming party.
No. Are you not going to have a housewarming?
No.
Why not?
Because you'll come over and the whole time you'll be going, it's so cute.
I've seen the house.
I know. I'll have a party. It'll be all right. I'm just not settled yet.
Okay. What about your house, Club?
No. I don't think my roommates would dig that.
Why not? What if we let them in the fraternity?
Oh, they might. Well, we got a kid at the house now, though, so.
What kid?
My roommates, they had a kid.
Oh.
It's kind of a deterrent.
Who's your roommate?
Chris and Gina. I've known them forever.
Oh. Why do you got roommates? You don't make enough cash to live on your own?
No, actually, we lease a house, and it's just really it's just a cool situation. So
I got a great idea. You buy a house, about $125 out north of where we live.
Right.
Okay? You let your mom live there.
Okay.
Your mom's the house mom. Because that's sometimes you have a house mom.
You have a house mom at bars, not at a frat house.
No, you have them at a frat house too sometimes.
Do you?
You've had them. Yeah, sure.
Do you have a house mom?
Yeah, we did. At our lake frat house.
Why you want to have my mom be the house mom?
Because
what do you want to do?
Nothing. I'm not doing anything to your mom, but that way, she has some place to live, and we have a real fraternity house. You have a little property, and it's an investment. That's a win-win. We get a real fraternity house. We all hang out there, and when we're not there, your mom has somewhere to live. That's out of the grove.
You want to get at my mom, don't you?
No, I'm not going to get at your mom. I'm not, even though the pictures of her smoking the hookah yesterday, very sexy, quite sexy. Sunglasses and everything. I heard George was hitting on her.
Again?
Yes.
At my house or in the limo taking her home?
That's I was told at your house by Rob.
I missed that. Rob, what did I miss?
Oh, he was just, chatting her up, having a good time while she was smoking on the hookah. He just being typical George.
Dandy.
That's a good idea.
You guys want to turn my mom into the house slut?
Not the slut. No, she just watch after the house when we're not around.
Okay.
This could be fun.
Where am I going to find it? I'm not buying a house for $150,000.
Why? It could be. There's lots of places up north of the area we live.
Why don't we just get an apartment?
We could do that. You're getting a lot more complaints if it's an apartment. If we're raising hell and making noise.
What is it, Dan?
I don't know what it is. I kind of like the idea of the apartment and getting the complaints.
Oh, okay.
Because then that's more real.
Yeah, it's a lot cheaper.
Yeah, that's true.
We just find a big one.
What apartments run now? Can I get a decent one for like a couple $100?
No.
Fine.
How many bedroom?
Well, it's just her, just one.
Oh. 600 a month, 700, 1,000.
It all just depends on...
Do I need to stop you someplace?
No, I'm just saying. It depends on how nice you want the apartment.
Oh.
I lived in a very nice 2-bedroom, and it was about $1,200 a month. The one I just moved out of.
That's too much. What, Dan?
I was going to say, he's right around there. In some places, especially if it's in, like mid-cities area, you can find a nice one-bedroom, in the 500 range. That'll do just fine. However, you can always go higher end and go all the way, like JD said, and find one that's $1,000 a month.
No, she doesn't need anything nice.
She does.
Why?
That's just because she's your mother.
Why is it I got to go back and undo all the crap she got herself into? I didn't tell her to move into the Grove.
No.
I didn't pick that place.
You did not. But you have the money now to help move her out, and it would help you. It's an investment.
I'll dwell on it.
Okay.
Hello? All right. You going to pick up news here?
Sure.
Go legal ID. Please. All right, 5:53 at KLLI, Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas. JD Ryan's here with news.
Thank you, Russell. Brought to us by VertBiz Internet, the official web host of the Russ Martin Show, VertBiz.com, and by the Sports City Cafe. You'll see Rob there on Sunday. This Sunday, that's at from 2 to 4, Town Crossing Boulevard in Mesquite. He'll have live 5 tickets for you. New research out showing that an estimated, this is no surprise, actually I think this number's kind of low, an estimated 3 to 5% of all adults suffer from, what do you think, 3 to 5% of us adults suffer from? Big nickel? No. God. Sexual addiction. And interestingly enough, this is no surprise, 75% of those addicts are men, which means 25% are, of course, then women. A new report from the U.S. Department of Education shows that 23 states still allow teachers to beat students in public schools. Oh, no. And in Mississippi, almost 10% of public schools are paddled, kids are paddled every year. On the whole, paddling is down since the 70s when it started being outlawed. In 1976, 1.5 million school kids were paddled. In 2000, that number was cut down to about 342,000. Black students are paddled at a rate more than twice their part of the population. Black children comprise 17% of the students, but receive 39% of the paddlings.
Okay.
Thank you. A New York State legislator says he plans to introduce a bill to allow police officers to use racial profiling to target Middle Easterners when searching bags. Since the attacks in London last month, police in New York have begun searching the bags. It's not a bad idea. It's illegal to
racial profile.
But they say, at this point, why not lift that? I mean, it's not PC, it's not cool, but seriously.
Well, and I think Middle Easterners know that we suspect them all anyway.
Well, yeah, really.
So why not say, you know what?
Here's the deal.
I'd welcome it. I'd like to be checked. I'd like for people to know that most of us aren't doing anything squirrely.
Right. And, feel free to stop us. It's okay. I'll
check me. I understand.
I'll show you my stuff.
It's like back in World War II. We suspect, even if they were naturalized Asian Americans, we suspected all the Japs of being up to something.
We certainly did. Anyway, right now the cops have already dismissed the idea as ineffective, but the guy's still going to go ahead and try to make it in New York anyway, the law to get rid of the racial profiling. I don't think they'll ever pass it personally, because the ACLU get involved and go, hey, that isn't going to happen. Speaking of your rights, Chicago's use of the internet to humiliate customers of prostitutes or Johns has led to concerns that the practice may violate constitutional rights, and I certainly agree. At issue is Chicago's recent decision to run a website.
Well, these aren't even people that have been convicted. They've just been arrested.
Correct.
So there's no due process there.
Correct. There are some other cities that list just convictions, but Chicago's, all you have to do is be arrested. And they go, well, you know what? It's public. Here's the John Daly, the mayor, saying, you know what? It's public record anyway. We're just listing what's public record.
All right. Well, why don't you do everybody? Why don't you do sex offenders
and everybody else?
You got just everybody's picture. Anybody convicted of anything? Why are you just focusing on the Johns?
I don't understand. Why is this such a big crime?
The people that are going to be the least likely to offer me any problems,
right,
Not dangerous to me.
No.
Why is it you're going after them?
That-
But you focus on these other people, and then, like I said before, if you get everything handled, and crime's down to, maybe 1 or 2%.
And all the murders are done, and all the armed robberies, and all the home invasions are finished.
After that's handled, then you go after the Johns. Why are you focusing on the one thing, the one people that really aren't creating any problems? They're going out, they're just a hardworking stiff who enjoys some salty language, job, and a nice cup of Joe.
Exactly. Every time I watch Cops, and these big bad guys are, they spend 30 minutes busting these guys. It's some old fat guy, who's 60, sitting in his car. I watched one, I think it was last night. Just dropped my wife off at the store. He was just going to get a quick thing.
Right. In the meantime, how many people are getting a knife shoved into their neck at an ATM?
Exactly.
That's what I'm worried about. Some fat guy getting a hand action.
That was very frustrating. Mayor Richard Daley has brushed aside potential constitutional concerns about the website, asserting that the public's right to know outweighs the arrestees' disapproval.
Yeah, you remember that when you're getting it shoved in your butt in court. Because they'll go back civilly and they'll...
Oh, they will. Eventually, somebody will they'll get off.
There'll be lawsuits to go with that.
Yeah.
Hold on. Hi, Rob.
Have you seen the Dallas Police Department? They have a website that shows all the people arrested for prostitution as well.
Not convicted, but arrested.
Just arrested. If anybody who gets arrested, they put your picture up there, prostitute or John.
Do you know what the website is?
It's at Dallas Police.
No, don't tell me yet, because everybody will hop on it. Let me pull it up first. Hold on. All right, Dallas Police what?
I think it's DallasPolice.net. It's whatever the official Dallas Police Department website is.
Okay, and then it's one of the... Is it obvious? Is it obvious when I get to the website?
It says, like, sex offenders or information. I think it's information, and then you look for sex offenders.
Like crime info?
Yeah, crime info.
All right. Crime stats, sex offenders, crime maps, analyze Dallas, crime webnet. I don't see it. I'll dig around for it.
But it's on there. It's pictures, and it's a lot of Blackman Lake people.
I don't understand how they get away with that if there's not a conviction. Now, if they go back and they're found innocent, do they post their picture on here and say, hey, you know what, we inadvertently listed this one?
Probably does not. I found it. It's under indecency-related offenses, and then you click on the date. And then
they go back to 03.
There's their name. Yeah, there it is. All persons are considered innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. This webpage does not reflect the final disposition of any case. For final dispositions...
All right, so why is it... Thanks, Rob. Why is it up there? What's the purpose?
Every one of them. Here we go. Indecent exposure, prostitution, indecent exposure, indecent exposure, indecent exposure. That's what most of them are.
Why are the pictures inside their own cars? They snap it right there where they're getting
I guess they got them in the car, yeah. What are you looking at?
Did you just get to Calvert?
I got to Calvert.
Scroll down to that. Dan, come look at this.
I don't know what date you're on.
Hang on. You ready? Let me scroll down. Let me reveal.
Hang on.
Are you ready?
All right, all
right, hang on. So I'm just scrolling down. Got all these guys that are arrested. There's Charles. There's John. There's Robert. There's George. There's Calvert.
What an ironic crime to be arrested for.
Got a decent exposure. It looks like they took the picture right at the moment they told him what they were arresting him for.
Yeah. The chick from TXCN.
It kills me a lot of these are sitting in their car. What are public lewdness? There's a chick.
Yeah. She's hot.
Yeah.
Nakima?
You're on a different page than I am.
Oh. Some of these are hot. Grand Prairie. Vehicle 9. Yeah. Public lewdness. I'd do that one. Mm-hmm. You do her?
Yeah.
Then you got LaTanya. She's only 22. Little hot body. Are these women still out running around?
Some of them are, yeah.
Charge public lewdness. I wonder if they got any other pictures.
I don't think the Dallas police ever thought anybody be getting off on this website.
Did you look at this one?
I haven't seen all.
Look at these two pictures.
I don't know what date you're on.
Well, come over here and just look.
Okay. Your new site.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that one. And then look at that body.
Hot. Look. Yeah.
Tanya. And then you got Nikema right there.
Yeah.
Let's see what else is on here. No. Oh, she's hot. Angela?
Yeah.
Public lewdness.
Hell is that? Oh, Rex.
Is that a guy?
Yeah.
Hang on. There's another one. Charlene. There's some hot chicks on here.
Well, yeah.
Is this all Bachman Lake?
They're prostitutes. I think it says where they were.
I believe I'll go down Northwest Highway on the way home.
God.
Maybe I'll run into, what's his name?
Calvert?
Yeah. Run into Calvert.
Oh, I see Calvert now, yeah. What?
Tom Loke.
Oh, that's funny.
All
right. Stars captain Mike Modano is a free man. Still confused, but he is free for the first time in his career. Modano, who's 35, will be able to shop himself around the league and have the opportunity to pick where he wants to play. 11 o'clock this morning. Stars exclusive negotiating period with Modano passed, and any team in the league that would like to sign Modano was given the chance to talk to him and his agent, Brian Lawton. Modano says the Stars have never made an offer to him or Lawton, and he's confused by the discussions. Modano said that the Stars say they are hesitant about offering him a long-term deal because of his age, but they just gave the defenseman Zubov, who is also 35, a 3-year, $12 million contract with a no-trade clause on Sunday. He goes, quote, this is Modano, "It doesn't make any sense. I'm old at 35, but Zuby isn't. I just don't get it. Stars have more depth."
Has Modano had not pristine seasons over the last few years?
No, just obviously not last season because they didn't have one, but the season before that. And he's actually come out and said, obviously, it wasn't my best season, but my mind wasn't all the way there. That's when he was going through, I think, the
financial problem, tax.
Yeah.
Tax?
I think it was his old manager or agent, one of those two that had pretty much cleaned him out of a bunch of different stuff, which, in my mind, that's pretty understandable. And the other thing is this, they're worried about how old he is. They obviously just signed Sergei Zubov, who's 35, to a 3-year deal.
Same age.
Exactly. And if you're also worried about his age, well, he just had a whole season off. He's going to be pretty well rested. And now they've made some rules changes in hockey that are supposed to make it easier, or it's supposed to make it more fan-friendly as far as scoring goes. Don't ask me what exactly the rules are. I couldn't even explain it to you. But it's supposed to open up center ice a little bit more. One of the things I know they are doing is moving.
Good. That's because the action slows down there a lot.
Well, it does. Well, the middle of the ice, not just center ice.
No, I understand.
The middle of the ice headed towards the goal. Though, one of the things they've done is they took the goal and they've moved it back a little bit to where it used to be.
They moved it back?
They moved it back.
Hang on. Let me give you the Calvert face. There.
Without my camera.
I've shown my shock.
Yes.
Anyway, that's supposed to keep...
I did what?
That's a great picture.
Yeah. Since that's public record.
We might have to print that.
I can post that on my website.
Anyway, by moving the goal back, it opens more stuff up in front. Never mind.
Stop looking at it.
I can't.
Yeah, you really can't.
I can't stop.
Okay. Rob. Pull up the police website and see if you can get a phone number for Calvert. I want to talk to him. The date was 5/13/2005. You'll see what that means when you go to the website. And you'll know which picture is him. Go ahead.
Okay. We finished with Modano?
I suppose.
Mindy McCready is now saying that her boyfriend, Billy McKnight, the guy who beat her up, by the way, was not trying to kill her, even though put her in the hospital. McCready told the Tennessean newspaper that he was in no time trying to murder me, end quote. And although she did come right out and say it, she did not come right out and say it, rather. It appears that she and McKnight may have, believe it or not, gotten back together. She continues, said, "He beat me up badly. Yes, he did. And my family's very upset about it. They really don't want us to reconcile." Wonder why that would be. Mindy also is in denial about her recent suicide attempt. She said, quote, "I think God's been trying to get my attention and telling me I'm supposed to be out there singing and entertaining." Well, then you need to be off drugs and get away from this guy that's beating
and
hell
stop
out of
hanging
you.
out with people that
beat the hell out of you.
Yeah. All right, so he wasn't trying to murder her. What was he going for? Coma?
I suppose.
Something not quite as drastic.
I don't know. And then let her.
I don't know how a chick could go back. I don't care what your self-esteem is. And in her situation, it's not like she's in a house and they have kids and she's worried about how she's going to support herself.
And at some point, she's had money. I don't know if she has any more, but she had at least a hit.
Right. She's got someplace to go.
Right. She's
not trapped with this guy to where you feel like, well, the beatings are bad, but leaving the house and not knowing where I'm going to stay, that's even worse.
Right.
She's not in that situation. So why do you let the jackass back?
I have no clue. She's actually going to be on, she's planning to honor her September appearance on the Oprah Winfrey Show. The theme is domestic violence. That ought to be interesting.
All right.
So, I just had no idea. There are so many little hot chicks in Nashville right now. All you'll really have to do is be able to wear a pair of jeans and dance in front of the camera. Her career.
Why is it she can't come up with another hit?
Because there's tons of them. They all sound the same. They all sound the same. It's to the point where even Faith Hill almost sounds the same as Mindy McCready. There's a ton of them. It's kind of sad.
Okay.
Al Gore's new network's out today. You care? Current launched today. As you may know, the network will supposedly focus on TV's so-called missing demographic, the young, cool adults. Al Gore, of course, gave us our internet. Now he's giving us a new network. Positioning statement for the network is, we want to be the television homepage for the internet generation. Every half hour, Current promises a news update on the news stories that are getting the most search on the internet, like on Google. The channel won't be available to most of us for a while because only... Quit looking at it.
I can't stop.
About 20 million of the 110 million homes across the country even get the Current TV channel. I know you just... And you just... It's in such contrast to the people on either side of him. They look like people...
You just now see her, Rob?
Yeah, I was offline for a few minutes.
The web page was?
Yeah, it was down.
We crashed it.
Do what?
I'm sure we've crashed it.
Oh.
Doubt seriously the city of Dallas has the bandwidth to handle this kind of hit.
Hang on a second.
For Calvert.
I'm going to make this my desktop. Hang on.
Yeah, I think I'm going to do it too.
Yeah. You ready, Chloe? Here it comes. Is there a way I can make that big?
Yeah.
Set as background. How do I make it big?
You go to...
Properties?
You're going to have to go to Control Panel.
Hang on. I can figure this out.
Okay, there you go.
Right here? Settings? No. Effects? Appearance. Screensaver.
Stretch.
Background. There it is. Center. Stretch.
No way.
I did what? Stop it.
Go ahead.
Okay. A new movie poll conducted by Sony Ericsson has come out. The infamous hair gel scene in the There's Something About Mary was voted as the funniest movie moment of all time. The closest competitor was the Bohemian Rhapsody scene from Wayne's World, and Ben Stiller accidentally smashing the urn full of Robert De Niro's mom's ashes in Meet the Parents. Some of the other stuff they came up with, sexiest movie moment, was Sharon Stone exposing her stuff in Basic Instinct. Scariest moment, I don't agree with this one. I think Jack Nicholson in The Shining was a lot scarier, but the shower scene in Psycho, they say, is the scariest. Top thriller scene was Clint Eastwood daring the robber to go for it in Dirty Harry.
The what?
The Clint Eastwood daring that robber to get his gun in Dirty Harry.
Robber. All right,
yeah, go ahead, punk. Best action scene, Harrison Ford shooting the swords guy, the swordman, in Raiders of the Lost Ark. I don't think that's...
What was the scene? What was the category?
Action scene. Doesn't seem to me like that was an action scene.
Hang on, let me check. What do you think, Calvert? Yeah, you like it.
The most romantic movie ever, Patrick Swayze lifting Jennifer Grey out of the water in Dirty Dancing.
I never saw it.
And according to you never saw Dirty Dancing?
Mm-mm.
I mean, you're not a romantic movie guy.
Mm-mm.
According to a new Jimi Hendrix biography called Room Full of Mirrors, Jimi faked being gay to get out of the Army back in 1962. Hendrix had always said they let him out of the Army because he broke his ankle in a parachute jump. There's no record to show that he ever suffered any injury at all. In truth, he told a psychiatrist on the base that he was in love with another guy in his unit and that he'd become addicted to pleasuring himself. He was discharged due to his, quote, homosexual tendencies. Author, by the way,
Is that the easiest way to get out of serving military time?
I guess back then at least, because That was really no back then. Now they've been we don't want to know. Just go back to your.
But I want you to know.
We don't want to know.
No, really.
We don't.
I don't mind being inducted into the service. Well, I have plenty of opportunity to get me some.
Like you and Dr. Robbins. And what does it mean when I do this?
Yeah. Does this have any kind of bearing? It doesn't. Well, what about if I take it all the way to the end? What about that? Hold on. Yes, Jeffrey.
Yeah. What's the date for that Calvert guy?
Hold on. Let me go back. The arrest date?
Yes.
It's 5/13/2005.
It's on the DPD website?
Let me make sure. Yeah, is that what I clicked on?
Yes.
Yeah. When it says arrestee information, the very first one that you can click on, I think it's May 1 through May 15th. That's the one you click on.
All right, I'm looking. I can't find it.
Are you? Well, what's it say on the page that you're on?
I clicked on crime info, get crime statistics, sex offenders.
Do you see the thing that says indecency-related offenses? Is that what we clicked on?
Yes.
I'm at the wrong page.
Call me back when you find it.
The very first page, click crime info, then click indecency-related offenses, and the very first thing you can click is
May 1 through 15th. And then about 1, 2. Well, screw it. You'll know when you see
can't
it.
possibly miss it. The author of this book, Charles Cross, says that Jimmy's voracious appetite for women is proof that he certainly wasn't gay, but he didn't want out of the armed forces for any other reason other than he just wanted to play music. He wasn't gay. Well, The Game recently was on stage in Manchester, England, when a fan in the front row gave a shout-out to 50 Cent during the Game song Dreams. This infuriated Game so much that he actually interrupted the song in order to spit on the fan. Then Game actually hid behind the security guards when the fan attempted to spit back at him.
I thought The Game and 50 Cent I thought everything was cool.
I thought it was fine again, too.
Ain't everything cool?
Everything was cool. Evidently, they're back into it again.
And let's see here. The Game only emerged to continue performing after the dude had been bounced from the concert. He spit on somebody from stage.
Hold on a second. Rob. Were you able to find Calvert?
I gotta pull up some other stuff. He's just not listed.
Oh. All right. Let me know. How we doing, Chloe?
Need a break badly.
Okay. Let me see what Calvert thinks. Yeah.
We'll be back to the Russ Martin Show. Now, back to the Russ Martin Show.
Ain't no motherfucker in this world could do it like me. Open up your eyes and insert a little rising. You don't have to love me, you don't have to like me. Got enough love in myself, in my psyche. You should have the same in your brain nightly. If you wanna taste, bitch, you can fucking try me. If you wanna hate, bitch, you know where to find me. And if you go and hate this, you can fucking bite me. I'll be cruising in my lane fast, call it high speed. I've been working hard, yeah, I've been working nightly. If you think you'll win, ha, not fucking likely. I be
God. You stop and take a snapshot of your life right now.
Why?
Because you are so blessed. And so lucky. I don't know how much of that you want to put on the air what you just talked about. God.
She's just getting on my nerves.
You want to say why? Because you're not going to have any sympathy from anybody on this planet, nor in this room.
Well, then I don't think I want to talk about it.
It's a good call.
What is it, Dan?
I might have sympathy. Try me.
Yeah, go ahead, try it.
Come here and I'll tell you off the air.
All right.
After a certain point, it just gets irritating.
I can't imagine.
Hold on.
Okay.
That's so stupid.
Yeah, I know. Are you on the sympathy train?
How many times did she ask?
What is it?
I don't know.
What were you doing? That was so important.
I was working on stuff. The weekends are the only time I got to get caught up on everything. I don't have time during the week. As soon as Friday night hits, I'm doing stuff until Sunday night. And it was all weekend.
It only takes you a couple of minutes anyway, doesn't it?
No.
Oh.
It's not a circus act.
From what we've heard, it's spit on it and go.
Well, I guess the mystery's gone now, isn't it?
Yes. And that's irritating.
It's irritating because it was all weekend.
Your hot little 20-something-year-old girlfriend wanted to have sex all weekend. That's irritating you.
I had stuff to do.
What if it was a different hot 20-something asking you?
Careful what you say right here.
Why?
Because we'll find out what you say.
You think?
Yeah.
I think I just need some space.
Good answer.
Nice. I need some time alone.
Okay. Okay. This one's lasted a long time.
8 months.
I can't imagine that she wanted to have sex is the reason we broke up.
That's not the only reason.
Well,
the breakup wouldn't be this is real life. This wouldn't be something petty.
What else? I understand she brought yogurt in the house.
I'll tell you the other one, and this is not for air.
Okay, not for air.
Do you understand?
Totally.
Do you? Now, Dan, it's not worth coming in here for. Ready?
I am.
All right.
Well, that can be modified.
How many different times does that have to be covered?
I don't know. That's not a problem. That's not breaking up a relationship. You're looking for.
I think it is. It's an absolute lack of respect for me and the house and the money that I put into it. And I think that warrants me screwing somebody else.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't warrant.
In my head, it does.
Well, okay, in your head, that doesn't warrant screwing somebody else. If that is that big of a deal, that is a deal. It's not as silly as the yogurt was.
Here's what I think it is, and this is the radio shtick aside. Mm-hmm. I think I see this relationship getting too permanent, and I don't like that.
I can see that.
So it's about time to do some damage.
I understand. That's your typical style. Radio stuff aside, I think any psychologist would look at you and go, you get comfortable, you start to settle in, that scares the hell out of you, and you destroy it.
Right.
It's your pattern. And it's about time. That's a shame. I feel sorry for you.
Why?
Well, because you'll never really find happiness and settle down with somebody.
She won't do a three-way, and she won't get a boob job.
God. That's quite superficial. Most women, a lot of women won't do three-ways.
I'd like to have something different.
Why won't she doesn't want a boob job at all? And she doesn't need one, first of all.
Yes, she does.
Well, I've never seen her breasts.
I've seen them.
I know you have. They seem quite proportionate for her body. She's quite tiny.
I know.
As is Joy.
I want something absurd.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
You want something like L.A. Le Mans?
I don't think hers are absurd.
They're absurd. They're porn star boobs. And with that comes porn star mentality.
Not necessarily.
Yes, always. You know damn well.
Not if they're conditioned properly.
No, they're always. Porn star boobs.
Rob's wife has got porn star boobs.
Man, that's
she
true.
ain't nutty.
She's the exception to the rule. She really is totally the exception.
I think Amy could handle a nice set of yeets.
Great. She doesn't want them. She doesn't want surgery. She doesn't want somebody cutting into her body, exposing her to, infection over your whim.
Fine. Lose me.
If you're serious, it's pretty superficial.
Well.
Or is it honestly you're just afraid of commitment?
It's not afraid. I don't want to.
You don't want to what?
I don't want a long-term relationship.
Ever?
I don't think so.
There's ups and downs. I won't lie to you. It's nice.
I know.
It's nice to freshen things up occasionally, but there's also a wonderful. It's like kids.
Mm-hmm.
There's a wonderful part about having children too.
Mm-hmm.
You'll never know that.
Mm-hmm.
You may never know about long-term relationships.
Mm-hmm.
There's also cool stuff about being free and never having kids.
Mm-hmm. I want to go out and I want to be free. I want to be able to do whatever I want to do. Mm-hmm. I want to be Calvert.
Mm-hmm. Calvert.
Here's Calvert's phone number. No,
you found it?
Rob did.
Oh no,
Rob, where did you find Calvert's number?
Did a couple of searches, put some things together, and found out where he lives, and got his number from that.
All right, let me see if he answers. That's the wrong number. Hold on. Dan, who's on the hotline? Huh?
You?
Oh. No more whiskey, Clay. Come on, Calvert. Steal an answering machine.
Quit it.
Hang on, we'll pick up news here.
Okay.
Hi, Julie.
Hi, is this Russ?
Yes, ma'am.
This is kind of exciting. I've never talked to you before. I just have a quick question.
Okay.
When you dated Mona, didn't she do a three-way with you, and didn't it freak you out?
Yeah, we did. I don't remember it freaking me out.
You didn't like it. You were all freaked out because she was with another girl.
Nah, you know what? I wasn't freaked out. At a certain point, I got left out.
Well, you didn't sound like to me you liked it, and I'm not a fan of three-way, but my husband loves you. I listen to you to keep our marriage happy, and I just kind of remember you being freaked out, so I don't understand why you want to do it again.
No, I wasn't freaked out. At a certain point, they forgot that I was there, and they went off on their own.
I've had that happen.
Well, aren't you afraid that'll happen again?
No. I'll make that one of the conditions where I don't get left out.
I have to be involved.
Yeah. We don't break up into our own little groups, and I'm the only one in mine.
All right.
That happens. How come is it you don't? Well, hang on. How come is it you don't like the show?
I do. My husband likes it, and so I started listening because he does.
Okay.
So I thought this would, give us something to talk about. So we do talk about your show a lot.
How long have you?
We don't usually agree, but we talk about it.
How long have you been listening?
About a year and a half.
Okay. All right. And you couldn't stand me at first?
No, it's not that. No, I just I had to figure out how to take what you had to say.
Oh, okay. And how do you
get it?
How do you take it? How do you take it now?
I kind of get it now.
Okay.
But most of it is a bit, and I don't take what you say. Some of the stuff about women, I don't take it real personal or nothing.
Okay. Well, thank you for calling.
So, no, thanks.
What?
Nothing. I don't think you weren't freaked out by the three-way.
No.
It'd be fun.
It was the first one I had. It was a different experience. That just at a certain point, they got really enamored with each other, and I'm laying there out of it.
Out of it, yes, I know.
So I had to kind of wedge my way back in.
They think it's more of the show at that point. It's free.
No, they don't.
Well,
that's an excuse to eat.
So, that's what you wanted to see.
I wanted some, too.
Okay. Well, you got in there and got you some, didn't you?
Not as much as I wanted.
Did you partake of both?
Did I raise a flag?
Did you?
No.
Okay.
I had Mona.
I understand.
And enjoyed different portions of the other one.
Mm-hmm. Totally understand.
But I wasn't able to enjoy the other one. For some reason, that freaks them out.
Yes, it does. I have not had that experience. One time I've had that experience.
Is that where you and another guy got her?
No. It was 2 girls. It was that night that I called you over.
To Arlington?
You didn't come over. Yeah.
Were they both hot?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
What were in your plans to invite me over? Was that your secret way to get up in me?
Get up in you? I was sharing with my buddy. You could have them both, too.
But we would all have been in the same room naked.
I guess. I don't know. Just, all right. That
wouldn't weird you out?
This is my drinking days. It really didn't occur to me. It's going to be a fun night.
Okay.
I had to enjoy it all by myself.
Hi, David.
Russ.
Yes, sir.
Listen, do you know whose show this is?
Yes.
What's his name?
Why?
Tell me what show this is.
Now's not a good time. I was freaking myself out by being on the phone earlier. What do you want?
Do you know who you are?
Yes, I do.
What's your name?
Well, what are you getting at?
I'm getting at something. Go along with it. What's your name? Tell me your name.
Dexter does this crap to me all the time at the Larry Norths.
Tell me your name.
Pisses me off.
Tell me your name.
Can't ask him again.
Tell me your name.
What are you getting at?
I'm getting at something. Tell me your name.
Your bit's about to run out.
Who has the most popular show in all of Dallas?
Puddin' Tame Show.
Who makes more money than anybody else in all of Dallas?
I understand what you're going for. So because of any type of perceived celebrity that I might have, you think I got options.
You're Russ Martin. All right? You are number one.
Okay.
In Dallas, you're even bigger than Howard Stern. Okay?
I understand.
You are the Howard Stern of Dallas.
Okay.
All right? Now, you can have any freaking thing that you want. All right? Screw Amy.
Quit it.
If you want 2 girls, you go get 2 girls. If you want your girl to have a boob job, then you go find a girl who has a boob job.
See, David's right.
If she can't deal with that, then tell her to hit the road.
Thank you.
That's good on paper. It doesn't work in reality. It sounds really good. Dexter pulls that crap on me all the time. It's not reality.
I know. And like I said, radio shtick aside, I think it's just at a certain point in a relationship that if I let it go any further, I see this becoming more and more permanent. I ain't into that.
Which is not going to kill you. You haven't been into it. It's not going to kill you.
I'm at a crossroads, and I'd like to go eat on one of the other streets.
See? Don't destroy it before you really look at it carefully.
Possibly.
You've always been pretty careful before.
Yeah, I never got caught.
You never got caught. And you were always willing to let whatever it is you had go.
I don't understand.
You were willing to, what you had was not so precious that, if you got caught, I'd be even comfortable, but oh well. I mean, there was never anything so wonderful that you couldn't move on.
I got it. Do we need a break?
Soon.
Okay. Yeah. Well, we can do more news.
Yeah.
All right.
Just more?
Sure, go ahead.
Pick up? Sure. Talked about this a little bit earlier. A group of Texas women working to raise money for breast cancer research have found a unique way to raise money by taking their charity activities to a higher level, to flight, actually. More than 30 women took off in hopes of setting the very first new women's skydiving formation record since 1999. They finally did it. It was Skydive Dallas on Sunday. They had, they beat the record by 4.
Is this the thing that made you start thinking about skydiving again?
I was watching the report on Channel 5, and I thought, that really looked like fun. It looked like they were having a blast.
What's the fun part?
The thrill of getting out of the airplane.
All right, let me ask you this. From the moment you get out of the airplane until the instant that you touch the ground, is it worth the anxiety that leads all the way up to that? Because you know, until you actually get out of that plane, You're going to be scared S-less.
I don't think so. I think it's going to be exciting. There's a difference between scared and anticipation and excitement. It's like flying in ultralights or gliders and other things I've flown in. There's a level of anxiety, but it's not scared. I mean, the chances of something going wrong are really minuscule.
Okay.
Can it go wrong? Absolutely.
So you think you'd be cool with it all up until the moment that you stepped out of the plane?
As the moment approached, my heart would race. There's no doubt my adrenaline would pump. And they say, well, close down. They say that's the most exciting part.
All right, Cliff.
It's awesome. The only time I was actually really scared was when I pulled up and I noticed the plane that I was going to be jumping out of. But the weird thing is when you get in...
What was wrong with the plane?
Oh, nothing. You're just like, that's the plane I'm going to jump out of.
Okay.
It just, for some reason, it freaked me out.
I get it.
And the other freaky part is when you get in the plane and you're taking off. You know, you're used to like a commercial flight. You're just kind of like really, really easily going up. These bitches just go, just start soaring up. Their deal is their turnaround. They get up 13,000 feet, drop you out, come down, get the next people. And that was a little bit
13,000 feet.
I know how high that is. I've flown my whole life. 13,000
feet. You're going to step out of a plane at 13,000 feet.
I realize. It gives you a long time to make sure the parachute...
How many stories is that?
1,300. I don't know.
It's awesome. It's fantastic. There's no other thing like it. Everyone likes the free fall. I like when you hit the parachute and you float for about 5 minutes or so. It's just...
I probably would be okay with that.
Yeah,
the parachute part. But regardless of what the rush was, from the time I got out of the plane to landing, the anxiety that led up to it wouldn't be worth it.
Yeah. I got a little bitty sense of it just doing, what's it called, parasailing. We've both done parasailing.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's sort of that's the float down portion.
I like that. I like the parasailing because that's done over water.
Right.
Even if that chute goes bad, you're not so far up to where something bad's going to happen if you hit the water.
You float down.
So you're going to go?
I really am looking forward to it. I'm going to check into it. I'm going to go to Skydive Dallas. That's where they did it, and that's what got me thinking about it again. And they do it all the time out there.
Okay.
It's very safe.
All right.
Okay, according to a new survey by CareerBuilders.com, 50% of people say they have gained weight since they started their current job. 38% eat out during the workday at least 3 times a week instead of packing their own lunch. And 10% eat out 5 times a week. 75% say their employers doesn't offer anything to help their health, like workout facilities, gym discounts, or weight loss programs. Or like in this building, nothing but a snack machine. What's the matter now?
Nothing.
What are you looking at?
Calvert.
Oh, you're still looking at Calvert. Just a little running joke, Calvert. WWCD, what would Calvert do? After months in jail, a dad's finally cleared of sexual assault for a photo of him playfully blowing on his baby's tummy. Last August, 24-year-old Charbel...
Didn't we talk about this?
I don't think so.
The dad's blowing on the kid's tummy, and then they had the pictures developed, and it looked like it was something porno?
Right.
We didn't talk about this?
I don't think so. Yeah. Anyway, they sent it to Eckerd. Yes, you just told the whole story. But they took months. And meanwhile, he sits in jail for 6 months while they determined that the pictures weren't pornographic. Teresa, the wife, got out of jail immediately, but it took him 6 months to get out. Finally,
where was this?
This was in North Carolina. Raleigh, North Carolina.
Okay.
They told reporters basically the whole thing's been a nightmare, but he's out. He's out. He's not going to sue Eckerd's. He says he's not going to. I'll bet some lawyer gets a hold of him. I bet he do sue Eckerd's.
Why would you sue Eckerd's?
Eckerd's is the ones that turned him in, falsely.
Well, but they had stuff. They handed it to the authorities. They're the ones that decided. Eckerd's not the one that locked him up.
I suppose.
What do you think, Calvert?
New York Post.
I gotta have T-shirts made with his face.
I can't believe Rob found his phone number.
Yeah,
Rob's amazing.
Put the letters across the bottom. What did you say?
WWCD.
What would Calvert do?
Yeah,
or WDCD. What did Calvert do?
What did Calvert do? Yeah. New York Post says that Kevin Federline, we know what a wonderful, upstanding daddy he is, totally ditched his first birthday of his son, Caleb. Yeah. They didn't even call or send a present. Perhaps Brittany and Kevin didn't send young Caleb a present because basically they don't have the money. According to the National Enquirer, they say the financial picture might be less than rosy. Supposedly, Brittany and Kevin took out 2 loans back in May, one for $1 million and another for $4 million. You wonder if she's not making any records, not making any albums, and they're going through money like water. At some point,
I'm sure she got cash on the side.
They run into the bottom at some place. And you know what? She says she's never getting back in shape after this baby. She goes, I like eating too much. I'm not going to exercise. I'm not going to get back in shape. There's too many there's too many Jessica Simpsons out there that can sing and are hot. I can't wait to see the Daisy. Have you seen the video for These Boots Are Made for Walking?
Yes. I know. It's not porn.
It's pretty close.
No, it's not.
It's nasty. Nasty. She's so hot.
I know.
And I've never liked her up until that.
You know what? She never really did anything for me either. But it was something about this and... Is it washing the car? Is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah.
No, she's washing the car. That's a different one. Is that right?
She's washing the car in the bathing suit.
Yeah, washing the car, the pink bikini, and a little bit of suds running her right butt cheek right at the end before it fades out.
Now that's...
Oh, now they showed it to me.
That's not the Boots video.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, that's
it is.
Boots, yeah.
That's
okay.
the right about the last 30, 45 seconds of the video is when she comes out with the bucket and starts washing down the General Lee.
Who said this? If I could, I'd live in the nude like Eve in Paradise. Blazing to go? No. Come on, Russell. Was it Paris Hilton, Angelina Jolie, or Shakira? If I could, I'd live in the nude. I'd live like Eve in Paradise. Like I did yesterday. I spent almost all day naked in my backyard.
You did?
Uh-huh.
In your backyard?
Yes.
Don't kids look over into your backyard?
No. If they do, they have to jump up on the fence and look over. Making burgers, swimming.
Naked?
Yeah.
Why?
Because you can. Because it was fun.
People can see into your backyard.
Nobody can see in my backyard. My backyard's totally private. Totally.
Naked by yourself, or you enjoy naked?
No, Joy gone home.
You don't feel weird walking around naked?
Not at all. It feels great. It's freedom.
Did you say you were making hamburgers naked?
Yeah, frying burgers. Then I jumped in the pool, get back out, finish the burgers.
On a grill?
Yeah.
Naked?
Open flame?
There's no open. They don't leap out at you. I don't know, low heat.
It's you. Yes, they would.
No, they didn't. I was safe.
You realize somebody's going to figure out where you live, and they're going to be still photos at Eckerd's.
Great. Who said this? I live in there. It doesn't matter anymore. It was Shakira.
Okay.
You're right.
Hold on. How we doing, Chloe? What else you got? You got anything good?
Twisted Sister Dee Snider has one word of advice for the rock stars. Parlay.
Parlay what?
Parlay whatever you have into something else because it ain't going to last.
All right. That's good.
Okay. Snyder says it's important that musicians parlay whatever they have into something new. When the Twisted Sister faded in the mid-'80s, he turned his We're Not Going to Take It fame to a radio career with a Strange Land horror film franchise and a VH1 reality series, Meet the Snyders. Now he's hoping to give his new rock band a chance to do the same thing as part of the Salsa Live All Summer Band Showcase. He's basically trying to get new bands. What are you doing?
Salsa?
Salsa.
All right.
Yeah. Isn't that tequila? Salsa, live. Salsa, what the hell's the difference, you drunk?
One comes with chips.
Salsa. It's the tequila. Of course, the drunk would know.
It doesn't matter how much we've had to drink. We can differentiate between salsa and salsa.
Salsa. That's what I said. Who's on the hotline? A while back, Lord.
Hang on, let me check with Calvert.
Let's see if I get anything good to close with. Dixie Hazard, Jessica Simpson, Linda Carter, Tim Burton's a racist.
Why is Tim Burton a racist?
Because basically all those characters are white and pasty-faced in most of his movies, including Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. All the little kids are all white, and they said, yeah, you could have incorporated some children of color, but you chose not to in most of his movies.
That makes sense with the Chocolate Factory.
There's news and information. I'm Katie Ryan.
We'll be back to the Russ Martin Show. Format doesn't matter. Talk, country, rock, Hispanic, even boogie down. He's numero one over them all. The Russ Martin. Now, back to the Russ Martin Show.
right, I got nothing else. We miss anything today?
No. I think so. He's closed set for New Orleans on. Is he leaving Thursday?
When are you leaving, Club?
Thursday morning, red eye.
What time?
I think right on. When I say red eye, it's probably around 6.
Okay. And then you get to New Orleans, what, 8:30?
Yeah. Well, I don't think that late. I think it's right around 8, actually. Yeah, it's late. It's at 6:45, get there below to after 8.
All right, so you'll still make the first seminar with Rich Barra?
Yes, I should. So.
Okay. Hold on, let me see what is it, Rob?
Hey, someone called in and asked if you wanted an X-ray machine for the packages and stuff.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
We get to keep this?
Yeah. Can I put it in the gym?
Yeah, those are big. It's kind of like at the airport where you pass the baggage through?
Yeah, the big one, the real ones.
Those are huge.
Where are we getting one of those?
Someone bought a new one and they have this one, and they said we could have it.
Oh. All right. Yeah, you can stick it in the gym.
Okay, thanks.
When's it coming?
It'll be here this week. I just got to get a flatbed truck to go get it.
What does it weigh?
I don't know. They said it'd take about 3 or 4 of us to load it up.
Okay. All right, cool. You ready to go, Dan?
All set.
You guys swear to God that was Jim Wright earlier.
That totally was Jim Wright. It was.
How come nobody told me ahead of time
Rob should have
he was
told
going to
you.
have a speech impediment? So I knew it was coming.
Rob should have told you. He spoke to him on the phone, I guess. Should have warned you.
Rob, why didn't you tell me about that?
I forgot.
No, you don't forget.
I didn't talk to him very much. I didn't even notice it.
Ask Rob what he got caught doing over the weekend.
What'd you do, Rob?
I forget.
No, you don't.
What'd he do?
Wendy walked in on him while he was busy on a computer. She went to the store. You know how you time it and they're going to go do something?
Oh, yeah, Amy almost caught me last week.
Yeah. And she came home early. And apparently their front door to the computer is 15 feet. Oh. So it was like he just threw a shirt over the top of it.
Oh. What did she say?
I don't think she really noticed.
All right. Because I don't think she's letting them have sex on a regular basis since... Why is it you can't use condoms until she's ready to go?
I'm married, man. I don't like using them things.
All right. So it's, you don't want to use it?
No.
Okay. I don't know if she was... So you can have sex with condoms. I didn't know if she was wanting him to store up his sperm or whatever. Okay, we don't have sex at all except on this one day, and you got a bunch of sperm built up.
More potent.
Yeah. What are you laughing at?
Just that moment when you know you're busted, it's just so embarrassing. It's okay. I'm a grown man. I can do that. And all of a sudden, you're 10 again. Your parents are at the door.
Amy found a bunch of tissues in the trash can next to my computer.
Uh-huh.
I know what you're doing. No, you don't. Yes, I do. No, you really don't.
Yeah, she really does.
No.
The one thing knowing that you do it, it's just that moment of walking in, hunched over. It's just pathetic.
Nobody looks glamorous sitting at a computer with your trousers yanked down and you kind of hunched over and you got the mouse going and your tissues at ready.
No.
And it's all timing, otherwise you miss it.
I know. Well, why can't we just have sex? Because I'm not going to talk to you.
There's too much other stuff that you wanted. That was the thing with Amy, is I thought, you know what, maybe the Wellbutrin is decreasing my sex drive. But as soon as she went to the store, I went up and pulled up Big Booty Cuties and fired off a round.
I know. There's times it's just easier.
They don't get that. And the one weekend, she thought that's what I was doing while she was out at the pool. Mm-hmm. She got pissed off. Well, I was horny. I wanted to have something. Then you did that. I didn't do anything.
Yeah.
That was from this morning.
Mm-hmm. Well, obviously, Wellbutrin's not doing anything to your sex drive.
No.
Good.
Ready, Daniel?
All set.
All right.
All right. For more information about the Russ Martin Show, pictures, links, video, and webcams, just go to russmartin.com. If you have any questions about the show and need some answers, just go to russmartin.info. To instant email the show and only during the show, send that to studio@russmartin.com. And for the other show websites, johndavidryan.com, thegranddragon.com, danantasos.com, gaillightfoot.com, djclo.com, and robriddlemoser.com. For more information about Spittleville, go to spittleville.com. For Black Eddie's weather information website, go to weathernig.com. And the official site for KLLI is live1053.com.
Ass.
All right, we'll see you guys tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
What is it, Dan?
Just making the face back at you. I noticed no one else is doing it for you.
Oh, all right. Thanks.
You can now listen to The Russ Martin Show anytime you want on the web at russmartin.info.